Word up.
That's how you do an episode.
Was I in that?
You forgot to talk, Jay.
Did I take part in that?
Issue 20, a comic book look. Yeah.
We
Party
do it big.
time. We do it big for issue
Celebrating.
20. Woo-woo.
Start,
All right. This is a comic book look. You know, your weekly TV show on comic books and anything relating to comic books. So we got a special show for you today since it's issue 20. And we'll get a celebration going for anything around here. And
Amen.
That's a Midwest for
so now we got a special guest on the line. And, you know, it's going to be a fun time. Go ahead, introduce yourself and tell us about your comic experience. And, of course, this is John Sioux Falls.
Hello.
I didn't even introduce. Sorry, John.
And that's Tom, who didn't introduce himself.
Sorry.
Oh.
You guys should know by now. Okay.
You know the name.
I feel really special now, though, that you took the time to introduce me.
Yes.
My name is Jake. I guess really growing up, didn't really read a whole lot of comics. What I did, though, I always kind of leaned towards the more dark comics. But now, lately, I've been getting a lot into fables. Just the idea of your childhood fables that are always prim and proper are just dirty whores. I love it. I mean, I'm just saying, like,
Yeah.
like, I can't remember their names right now.
Rose Red is the...
Rose Red, there we go.
She is
just
rough go at her.
I can't believe it. I read that sometimes and I feel embarrassed. But it's okay.
That's why it's fun.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, man. Well, thanks for being on our show. You guys know we always like to have guests. This isn't actually Jake's first appearance. You may have seen his first appearance. It was really close in one of the back issues. You guys will have to rummage through the long box to search the back issues.
It's worth the wait.
And we're excited to have him on tonight. We're going to talk about animated TV shows that are comic books related, especially the new Green Lantern TV show that just they had the two-part episode, which is like considered episode 1 and 2 is what we saw combined into one special, and so that's what we just watched. And we're gonna let you guys know what we think about
Slice and dice it for you. Go Top Chef on it.
You know what I'm saying, Johnny boy?
Yeah. I'm feeling it.
All right, buddy.
All right.
So how you doing?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Doing great, man.
Getting ready for Black Friday.
Turkey Day.
Oh,
And then I'm ready for Turkey. I love Black Friday, not because of what you guys
comic
think,
book sale.
but because our store does sales on
So
Black
we'll
Friday.
be there raiding the Backstar.
Rainbow
Nice.
Comics, Sioux Falls, South Dakota, the best around. I talked to John today because it's Wednesday actually, and so I know that they're going to be on sale. The regular comics may not be on sale. I don't know, but I didn't wait till Friday just because there's a few books that if I waited, I was afraid they were going to get sold out and I'd be pissed.
I told Tom, like
I
if
said,
they're out
don't
of
do
Alpha
bullets.
Flight, I'm going to be pissed,
But anyway,
They're not going to know.
it's going to be awesome. So this is our Thanksgiving show as well, issue 20.
Yeah,
Thanksgiving
I'm
show.
thankful for comics, I'm thankful for the show. Jake, I'm thankful for you. Tom, I'm thankful for you. And your ponytail. Ow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are you thankful for, Jake?
What do you think?
I'm thankful for a lot of things. Of course, you got friends, family, great beer, comic books.
That's what else do you need actually? Let's just leave it at that, period.
Exactly.
All right. Well, the Green Lantern, it is the new series on Cartoon Network. It's in an animated style that is computer generated. Let's just it was an opening. Hal Jordan is the main Green Lantern, and what do you guys first of all think of the animation style before we get into the story or anything like that? It is different than what we're normally used to with what we talk about. Batman animated, X-Men animated. So it's the different style, new age, the Star Wars, Clone Wars kind of style. So what do you guys think about that in particular?
Personally, I was actually a fan of the animation in it. I thought it did something good for the Green Lanterns because they're always trying to spin it as, like, you know, this technological, you know, ability that they have from the rings and the lanterns. And I think it was good for them to try to make it look more polished and clean.
It definitely gave it that polished and clean look. I mean, there's no doubt about it. Everything was rounded, and, you know, you think of the movie, there was a lot of similarities to the movie, but, you know, the movie was garbage.
Exactly, and this was awesome.
I never put myself through that one.
Yeah, well, good. But, and the background cities were, like, the coolest thing, because they just, like, spent so much time on the CGI, and I'm glad that this made the backgrounds be its own thing. It was very, like, simple but very modern, did look futuristic, kind of like backgrounds. The cityscapes were not like all these crazy, almost Asgardian things. It was like more like, you know, this distinct future on Oa. I like that. So I at first was really hesitant though.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, you look at that computer animation, you're going, oh, what the. I don't know if this is gonna work out.
It reminded me of when they changed Saturday morning comics or cartoons.
Yeah.
That's what it reminded me of. Like when they started going to that style of animation, and
you're going,
really,
yeah.
Like, can't we just keep it the same? It's
Toy Story
constant?
just ruined it all.
But true, it started with them.
But yeah, I mean, so that threw me off. But throughout the time, you know, you get to see how the Guardians look, and everybody is very stylized since it is in this computer animation. It's pretty cool. I think one thing that hindered this from drawing is, if drawing, you can just draw anything. You can draw whatever you want. In this style, you have to render this every object that you show on screen, 3D, build it into this world that you're gonna, you know, make your movie out of. And so you can tell it's their first episode. There wasn't a ton of characters. They didn't have developed a whole bunch of characters that could have, you know, be in every single, you know, situation like the main cast. It was very small because that's what they were probably able to spend the money on making in the computer. And so, like, the worlds weren't very vast and everything, and it was cool backgrounds and everything, but it was very limited in the, you know, amount of, you know, characters that you could have, especially when you're talking about Oa, and you could have had hundreds of, you know, Green Lanterns just everywhere. But, you know, you can't show that because you can't render every single one. It's going to cost, you know, hundreds of millions of dollars. And so that is a little bit of a hindrance that I kind of felt with the, you know, animated. You guys, you don't know what I'm saying with that at all?
I can understand where you're coming from because I had the same hesitancies, but I just feel like it worked for it.
Yeah.
Good. So now overall, what did you guys think of it?
If I was sitting at home on a Tuesday night, nothing to do, I may watch it. I wasn't a huge fan of it, but then again, like I said, growing up, I was never really into a lot of comic books, a lot of Green Lanterns. I read a lot of the stuff from more the 60s from when my father had the books, and I don't know, I just couldn't get into the new Green Lantern.
Yeah. I can see that. How about you, John?
You know, honestly, it's an admirable thing that they're doing, though, is they're making these characters relevant to this new generation of readers. This style of animation is something that, and I hate this term, but that kids and young adults, which we are really not anymore.
Yeah.
But
talk for yourself,
that they
man.
can. Hey, okay. Well, I know, but you know that younger readers.
30
can
is the new 16.
Right.
I wish.
I liked it though overall. It's kind of funny because watching it with those Red Lantern characters, I finally have something to say about reading the Red Lantern comics that I stopped reading. So it's kind of ass backwards if you ask me, but I had a little bit of experience with the Red Lanterns there, so that was interesting turn of events actually, to be honest.
Yeah,
with
exactly.
you.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, because it kicks it right off with Red
Yeah.
Lantern. So, I mean, Red Lanterns have been brought up, you know, Jeff Johns, you know, invented every single color has, you know, its own core somehow, and they've never known that until just recently, I don't know. And anyway, they bring that into this, and it's pretty cool to have, you know, red versus green, you know, the epic Star Wars colors, and I don't know, bad and evil versus, you know, good and
Just.
green. And
Kind of reminds me of a Magic game.
there you go.
That's right there.
But you know, I mean, so I overall, I I like comic books. I love them. I read, as everybody knows, tons of indie comic books, and Jake reads these comics because he reads my comics.
True.
And, he obviously has other outlets as well, but I'm just saying, I love comic books in every single form. And so, to have, them make a Cartoon Network show where we get to actually have, the actual Green Lanterns fighting Red Lanterns, and it's on the Cartoon Network. I mean, I think it's cool. I mean, I'm down with it. And so, yeah, it wasn't the best show ever, and I've seen way better done. I've seen shows done way, way better. But, who cares? I'm going to continue to watch it.
Right,
because
yeah.
I love different forms of comic book stuff. Yeah. And so...
And the options are so limited in terms of what's airing currently.
Yeah.
Like, if it's a younger reader, and they have Netflix, and, oh my god, I have so many choices of things to watch, then you're overwhelmed.
Yeah.
But for that kind of thing,
but
definitely,
if you are on
record it,
yeah.
watch it in bulk if that's how you prefer it.
And it's cool it's cool that they're, doing this, and DC's trying to promote Green Lantern so much.
Yeah.
I mean, and it has a lot to do with Jeff Johns. I mean, he's really built up the character. It's a fan favorite of his. Jeff Johns is one of the creative, officials at DC, and writes everything, Aquaman and Justice League, and he's a true fan, and he's always been a huge fanboy of comic books in general, especially the DC universe. So it's it is cool to have Green Lantern actually be out. They actually go through. I mean, this Green Lantern is no Spider-Man. I mean, it's way different. Everybody knows who Spider-Man is. Everybody's uncle, aunt, no matter what, who Spider-Man is. Well, that is not the same for Green Lantern at all. And so that's cool to have his own thing, and I'm going to continue to watch it for that reason. The kind of rundown of the show is Kilowog, main character, Hal Jordan, main character. They take this crazy jet into some frontier billions of light years away that they can't reach to save some frontier Green Lanterns that they've never heard of, and the plane gets broken down and nobody can fix it, and there's a lot of good, just kind of action scenes and one-liners that, make for a pretty good movie, or, pretty good opener. Did it blow me away? No. Was I like, okay, they could have done a little bit more with this? Yes. But
it was a good start.
It was still fun. I mean, it was still fun enough for me that I'll continue to watch it just because I kind of like this stuff.
You know what I like about it, but it drives me at the wall, is how cryptic the Guardians are.
Yeah.
They're like, should we tell the court everything we know? No. And Blackest Night? No, let's not. And then let's let the Black Rings come and sweep the floor with everyone.
Yeah.
Including them. Everyone dies.
Yeah, I mean...
Stupid Guardians. Makes me mad.
So... at first when we were watching, Jake, you were asking, did they explain what the Green Lantern is? What do, give us some more on that.
Well, I just, if I was just picking it up, never seen the Green Lantern before.
First episode we watched.
I mean, yeah, exactly. You should be at least explaining a little bit about the history of the Green Lanterns. Something just to kind of get people hooked in there. Especially watching an episode, and finding out after I watched it that it was a 2-part episode. Yeah. I mean, I think they could have gone a lot further in that aspect of it.
Do the Star Wars scrolling text at the beginning.
Exactly. Just something to give us a little
bit
of history. But they just jumped
right in. The episode just jumped right into a fight scene. We're just like, whoa, okay. Yeah. So thankfully, we're relatively versed in it. But for those that aren't,
right.
I don't know.
Totally. I mean, this came out like last week, and I watched it and recorded it, and that's why. How we watched it. And so I didn't even think about that at all. Like, when I was watching it, I knew everything that was going on. I knew every single character. I mean, it didn't even cross my path in my brain that they didn't explain what Hal Jordan was doing, who he is, what he is. I mean, they did a lot in, the different dialogue and stuff and going along. But you're right. I mean, they didn't have that explanation like they did at the beginning of the movie or, different things. And, that does make a big difference, I think.
Not to plug.
But I think I like it that way.
Yeah.
Because I like, kids don't need to know all that specific crap. They need to go in there and watch a good show and have a good time and not need to worry about it. And they can, watch Young Justice or Ben 10 after it, And that's how, that's what I want it to be like. And so I hope it hits off. I hope they sell a bunch of merchandise. I hope it stays around for a little while.
Not to plug the New 52 either, but now is an excellent time to jump onto those Lantern series if, you know, those that have been asking us about what series to check out. I don't recommend the Red Lanterns. It certainly is an optional reading, one of those extra credit assignments you just don't want to do in high school, you know?
Yeah, Red Lanterns.
It does pertain to the series that we watched tonight, so it is relevant.
It does,
1% of the time.
read Blackest Night and read
It's way awesome.
Green Lantern Corps.
So, but definitely check those Green Lanterns out while they're still number 1 digits, you know, because you'll know the...
And why John says this, I mean, I wouldn't check them all out.
Not all of them,
but what I would check out, if you're going to check out one, is Green Lantern Corps. That's always the funnest. You know, it has all the characters. Usually don't have to deal with Hal Jordan that much. And let's face it, guys. Do we want more Hal Jordan comics? I don't think so.
Justice League is cocky as hell.
Yeah, but at least that's brand new Hal Jordan.
Oh.
He's all angsty in his fucking regular book.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so let's stick with, you know, Green Lantern Corps, where it's a bunch of cool aliens, and they're just like, you know, they're not normal human, which makes it always so much cooler in the sci-fi aspects. And I don't know, don't read the regular Green Lantern. It's horrible. Go back and read the first run that Jeff Johns did. I mean, that was good Green Lantern. He did his thing on Green Lantern. You know, let's get him off here. I don't know, but anyway. Next topic I wanted to talk about. Let's get off of this. You know, kind of just
Green Lantern's never sat well on the show, has it?
Yeah, it hasn't. It never has. And
it's because of the movie.
And because the comics haven't been that good recently. Yeah. I mean, if we would have been doing the show, you know, 2 years ago, I would have probably been all about it. We loved it. I loved it before the Blackest Night. You know.
And the movie. Yeah. Don't compare the show to the movie. Whatever you do, just do yourself a favor and pretend like that movie didn't happen.
I agree.
Will do.
I agree.
Alright, Tom, what are we doing?
But next topic I want to talk about, you know, we obviously we think it's kind of just mediocre. I'm gonna watch it. Jake isn't gonna watch unless he's really lonely on a Tuesday, and
I'll probably watch it.
And John's gonna watch it, you know, because I mean, me and John watch Teen Titans even, so I mean, if we can last that, I mean, we can watch this, and Teen Titans go! But the next one I want to talk about is, like, we've talked about it before, but animated, you know, shows in general are, you know, a very important part of getting people to comic books. There's a mass amount of people who get a hold of it, compared to having to go to a shop and pick out a comic, or, you know, go to the newsstand and dig through all the magazines in the Shonen Jump to find maybe a Spider-Man, you know, collection or something. You know, it's a way to get out there, people thinking about it, realizing that it's a comic and they can see these other things. There's nothing I like more than having somebody who watched a Superhero Squad or something else, you know, a little kid who's, you know, my daughter who's just turning 5, you know, her friends know who they are, and then they like to look at the comics that I have, you know, that I can find that are okay enough for young kids, because the way these crazy writers write this stuff these days, that you gotta find it. But, it's out there.
That's Starfire?
Yeah, exactly. No.
No.
That is not the same Starfire as the Starfire.
Remember that picture? She's like, boom, just water whipping out of her hair. Okay, go on.
Yeah, Nightwing would just puke. Nightwing would just puke.
Shout out to
Nightshield. And Nightwing would just puke after that, but
crap about that.
Red Hood liked it. But yeah, you know, I don't know.
So let's talk about some series.
They're an important part, and there's some coming out right now.
Yeah.
You know, what is your guys's? You know, have you ever watched any other shows recently that you like? That is a superhero genre or, you know, comic book genre.
Oh, really? I can't say recently, since I haven't had cable for about 3 years. What I can
got
really,
Netflix.
Yeah.
There you go.
You know,
there's stuff on there.
Nah, not a whole lot. I mean, let's just talk. Don't even get me started on Netflix Instant Watch Queue. All right, I'm not gonna go there anyway. So I have to. I know you wanted recently. I have to pull though from my childhood, and I really just have to say it was mainly Batman and Robin.
Yeah.
And definitely Batman. The big thing though is after seeing a lot of the old shows, the old Batman and Robin from the 60s, I mean, that's what I grew up on, watching those with my father, and it's something that you can't really just jump right into the animated series.
Yeah.
For a lot of them and expect the same thing. So
you're talking about the original Adam West, old school.
Right.
Bam!
Exactly. And you don't get that anymore. Now it's all neatly done with the right graphics and the right
I'm going to do it perfectly. Pow!
You better. I'm holding you to that. But it would have to definitely be, you know, my first pick if I'm going to watch anything is going to be Batman and Robin. Then after that, if, you know, I'm still in the mood to get my comic book fix on, I'll go with some Batman.
Yeah. I just recently watched, I have every Batman, the animated series episode, and I just watched this Zatanna episode actually recently. Oh, she's just gorgeous. She doesn't even use any of her powers, though, in the whole episode, which drives me crazy. Come on, Paul Dini. You should have just... I just was waiting for her to say one backwards word at the end of the episode. That would have made it so cool. But it was still cool, Zatara teaching Batman, and, you know, Batman and Zatanna's relationship. And
she's the one that I thought was hot, right?
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, she's
Fishnets.
I'm just saying.
Fishnets magician. Top hat.
Sometimes comic book chicks are hot.
It's like magic.
We all know go to the you better check out, if you don't think I like Zatanna, just go to my channel. Just go to the comic book channel and look at that.
I had nothing to do with that.
Look at the Hughes drawing that I have.
I'm gonna change it to Puck from Alpha Flight just to depress you.
I'm just gonna put her right here. She's just so pretty. I'll just bring her right up. I keep that one on my computer because I just want to keep her in as many episodes as possible.
Oh god.
Oh god. Oh, Zatanna. But recently, John, what do you got?
I disagree humbly on the Netflix thing because I had the opportunity through Netflix to watch BET's Black Panther.
Oh, nice!
I'm sick.
Dude, tell me all about it, dude. Give me a full rundown. I want to hear
The X-Men had the
it.
most amazing cameo. They were fighting the Juggernaut, and Nightcrawler appears by Juggernaut and goes like, boo. And then Juggernaut just smacks him out of the way. And it's just so, wow, like he's just schooling the X. I don't know, it was a total random cameo. I was like, what just happened?
X-Men? I didn't even know the X-Men made a cameo.
The artwork in Black Panther is just crazy, but...
Explain more. What's it?
I don't know, it was just not... It was like not CGI, but the animation style was just different. Yeah, but it grew on me. It grew on me really quick. It was like an 8 episode kind of a series, and it was fun.
Nice. It's only 8 episodes long.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm watching that right away. And what do you mean? Is it just like kind of like old school X-Men and Batman, or
no, it's just different. Like you take that '90s cartoon, you just throw kind of like a heavier lines on the characters, kind of a thing, but. It's just different, but I enjoyed it, and it was on like BET. Like BET's Black Panther is now starting. What? Okay,
hell yeah, man.
Yeah. The other thing I got to watch was the Avengers or Mightiest Heroes, the Disney thing. You know, that's on Netflix season 1, and that was pretty cool. I'm not really, much for the good guy Avengers, but.
But it was pretty cool. I watched that a little bit of that too. I mean, it's a pretty good start.
I like the Ultimates one better though, even though Giant Man's a jerk and beats Wasp. In the Ultimates. That is not a Mother's Day gift.
Oh, Pym. Pym is a psycho.
Pym is a jerk.
He married a freaking robot.
Who got shot.
And she's a robot, so I'll fix her. And whatever.
She's dead now.
Pym is crazy.
She's dead.
That's totally different. That's the thing about Marvel, all these different, worlds. These, this didn't happen in this animated world.
Let's get interactive really quick. I just want to take a moment. Post your reactions, you guys, on what is your take on Marvel having Ultimate versus normal? Why? What is the point of having 2 realms when one is suffering enough? Why can't they just get their act together on one plane and do it right instead of spreading it out so far? Why have the Ultimates thing? I know Nightshield's going to crucify me for
I think
that.
there are people who just strictly read Ultimates, and they just like Ultimates because they don't have to worry, they say about, the back, continuity that comes.
Well, at the rate Marvel's going, that's not going to be a problem.
What it seems to do at Marvel is, it was something cool at the beginning. It should have just stopped. Now, Marvel has just overplayed this completely, and then they have all their creators that are awesome, Nick Spencer and Jonathan Hickman, and, doing books over on Ultimates that are just horrible, because, they're just, it's a horrible setup.
It is declining.
And it's, they need more, these big names on these Ultimate books, but nobody likes writing the Ultimate Universe. And
Well, it's not even big names. It's
people
just
say,
quality.
yeah, people say that maybe they do when they're interviewing, but they can't because it's just not as good. It's just simply not as good a work.
Yeah.
And man, I agree, man. Get rid of the Ultimate U. Just get rid of it. Do something different, Marvel.
I just really think they need to focus.
You know,
and
we
get
need
their
to-
act together. Like.
Yeah, I mean, Axel Alonso is editor in chief, and he really needs to take over and get something going for Marvel. With all the nonsense that's been going on.
Sorry guys, it's the 40 talking. Every time I talk Marvel, I just gotta reach for my bottle. No, I'm just
booze.
John, I
Booze
think you
always
have a
gets you.
problem.
I know.
This is your intervention.
I know. I'll read only DC from now on. I'm so sorry.
Dude.
Here's to you, Marvel.
I rewatched the first episode. It seems so long ago, and I mean it is horrible. It's horrible quality. I mean it's like the first episode of ours.
I'm a Marvel junkie.
And it is so bad. It's like people watch the show and they're like, oh, I'm gonna check out their first one, and then that's what they get. I mean, it is seriously. We were bad.
Remember how awkward our intro was?
Oh, and
Talking about comics.
you're like, I love Dark Reign, like totally. I don't know. It was just. It was not. It was rough, and I just feel bad for anybody that watches that. I mean, as bad as they are now, I mean, just think like 100 times worse. That was the first episode.
But honestly, I'm proud of my growth as a comic reader because I really have. Like, I get so many kudos now at the register for half and half, DC Marvel, 50-50.
Dude.
And I've cut back on so much stuff. My stacks aren't 12 books of shitty Marvel spinoffs.
Issue
anymore.
20. It's probably been like 21 or 22 weeks. That's almost a half a year. And a half a year, you have like switched your
Exactly. I'm
look at
seeing it.
comics
I'm a new man.
completely.
I am a new man.
So
Here, I'm a new man. Jake, raise your snow day.
Sorry?
there we
Three
go.
Musketeers.
I'm not with them.
All for one and one for Jake.
Hi.
But yes, I want to say my favorite animated TV show that's coming out right now is Young Justice. The best. It is.
Now, I'm not familiar with that, so...
Oh my god, it is so good. It's on Cartoon Network. It's still in its first season, probably 10, 15 episodes deep, and it is Justice League, except like the younger kids of the Justice League. So the Justice League characters still play a role. I mean, you see Batman.
But it's like Robin and Kid Martian or whatever, and Wonder Girl. So, not the actual characters younger.
Stop.
Well, no. You don't call her younger or Wonder Girl.
This is...
Are you saying that they're younger versions of Justice League?
No, I'm saying you're exactly right, dude.
Okay.
It is like... But Wonder Girl...
I'm going to watch this tomorrow and be like, oh, that's what they were laughing about.
No, there's no Wonder Girl. No, there's no Wonder
There is
Girl.
a Teen Titans and she hates it.
Okay. Yes, well, in this...
DC in your mouth.
In Young Justice, the team is Aqualad, Robin, Miss Martian, Superboy, and Kid Flash.
Oh, boy.
And
Which Kid Flash is it? Bart?
I think it's Wally.
Oh,
yeah, it is Wally. No, I know for a fact it's Wally. And then also... like Speedy kind of plays a role, but he won't be a part of the team because he's too badass. He's about to go do heroin like any second. And
and that's not a kid version of him.
Don't do drugs.
And so
Hugs, not drugs.
yeah. I thought Jake was gonna dedicate this episode to drugs.
No, that's not me. Not this guy.
Anyway, but it is just really well done. It's really cool that they add in the Justice League. I mean, Martian Manhunter, Batman, Superman has a really tough relationship with Superboy because Superboy's a clone. Miss Martian and Superboy are hooking it up, and Wally's just like the...
what?
Yeah, and Wally's just like the biggest perv hornball who's always trying to hook up with like any girl within a heartbeat. And Robin, is only 13 in this. So everybody looks like, you probably should be the leader. I mean, you're Robin, you have the best training out of anybody. And he's like amazing, but he's like, yeah, he is too young. He doesn't know how to work as a team player. Whereas then they end up having Aqualad be the leader, and Aqualad is extremely badass. It is unreal how finally, we talked about before how Aquaman's always played shitty. This Aqualad is like extremely awesome. He has these two things where he can manipulate water and do all these cool things. He's black. He has he's a big badass, and it is he's the leader, and it's awesome. And so I don't know. It's worth watching. It's worth taking a look at. Young Justice. It's on Cartoon Network.
When does it? What night does it hit? Like Friday or Saturday? Or? I have to check my guide for that.
I'm pretty sure it's Friday. It comes like Clone Wars and that are the same time. And
not the same time.
Or not,
back to back.
Back to back.
I like Clone Wars.
And or maybe Ben 10 or Generator X or whatever. I don't know.
Well,
but yeah, Cartoon Network is really cool. I mean, we have all these sweet shows that, you know, are supported on Cartoon Network, and, you know, can get kids into it. And then, you know, I mean, I'm an Adult Swim fan. You know, they have that don't have anything to do with comics, but I'm just saying, you know, very out there shows that give really the creators a chance to make cool shows out of, you know, crazy things, and they're always, you know, interpreting anime for, you know, late at night as well. So kudos to Cartoon Network for supporting comics indirectly.
And you know what's interesting? They've been getting just a ton of love too. I mean, I don't mean to yak attack so much, but I mean, I just got cable back. I don't know why I came. They called me and I said yes. But, you know, having G4, it's a good thing. I mean, the X-Men anime, sick. Wolverine, fun anime. Iron Man, the CGI integration of that was really cool, I thought. Plus, I read on Newsarama that they're developing some new Spider-Man show about a Japanese car racer that gets to turn into Spider-Man, and it looks to be pretty badass. So, I mean, there's a lot of stuff in the works. It's just adding new spins onto it, how to make it relevant to their target audience, and so forth, which is basic marketing.
Yeah.
Smart, though, and...
That's cool. All those
it's
are
great
cool.
to see it because...
I want to see all those. I haven't seen any of them.
Yeah. So, I mean, the X-Men anime I'm recording, you have to check that out. But it's good stuff. It is. It's just a different medium as well. But, you know, Emma Frost is in there, so... Emma.
Oh, God. Don't make me want to fucking snap Emma's fucking diamond neck.
She's diamond, dude.
She's diamond.
You can't snap that.
Diamonds are forever.
Dude, I can... I will
and they're also a girl's best friend.
So. Dude, I will be the one to snap her neck.
That's where I'm going wrong.
But you know, in one of the most recent issues, though, Uncanny X-Men *1, I believe actually her arm got blown off when Sinister made an explosion. Her diamond arm.
And Sinister would hook up real quick.
Like,
little twig snapping.
But,
all right. Well, Jake, thanks for coming on the show.
Been a pleasure.
I'm upset my roommate drank the last beer.
Oh,
makes me sad.
Dirty,
but it was great being on the show. I'm stoked about that.
Dirty, rotten scoundrel.
It's just now I'm at like a happy median, where before I was really happy.
Awesome.
As is our life.
All right. Well, thanks for coming back, guys. Check us out. You know, our YouTube channel. Subscribe, comment. Let us know what you think of the show. What you think of animated cartoons on
Let us know what your
Network.
favorites are.
G4, yeah. What's the best
What your
out there? What are we
experiences
missing? What are we forgetting to talk about? And if you guys ever have ideas for shows, you know, let us know. Have any questions, hit us up at our email, comicbooklook@gmail.com.
Yep.
And our Facebook group, search us a Comic Book Look.
Getting a lot of people joining, too.
Yeah.
I had another one I added today when I was at work, I think.
Awesome.
That's cool. Everyone's really fired up about it. Jump in, they make a post. I'm like, hey, cool.
Exactly.
Make ripples. Boom.
I posted the link on InveterateMediaJunkies.com, my favorite place to go for comic-related talk. And so a couple different people in there joined, and that was pretty sweet of them. And so, yeah, it's cool. You know, just always got the latest things up, and that's happened in comics, and the latest talk and questions. And this week, Cross Gen came up, and I haven't talked about those comics in a while, so that was kind of fun. And but anyway, you know, check us out, and thanks for watching.
Definitely. And as always, keep it comics.